Buying this house has been one of the biggest projects we've ever taken on.
We bought this 1980s house with everything included.
When he said he was leaving everything, he's left everything. Today we're going to bring you up to speed on all the projects we've done today. This has gone from bad to worse.
Show you guys a full walk around of the property, answer your most asked questions, why did the guy leave everything behind, and share a little bit more about our plans for the whole entire house. Part of the reason I want to do this walk around today is you guys have so many good suggestions, but usually when we post a video, we've already started on the project or have already committed to the plan. So I'm hoping today, any recommendations that you guys have, please let us know what you think. We are all ears right now and we are taking notes.
Feels like it was 2 minutes ago since me and Mary Hannah drove up this road in the LR3 to see our house for the first time. So here we are then. This is going to be the biggest project we've ever taken on. Wow, this is ours.
This is our first time driving on the property where it's actually ours. And you can see we've got a couple of ATVs, a bunch of vehicles, plenty of stuff to keep you busy.
What's this, a Chrysler?
Chrysler.
You can have the bike. Mitsubishi Pajero, or whatever they call it here, Montevero. A Dodge. I feel like we might have to take the balcony down.
I think the whole deck's coming down.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. What have we bought here?
Day one when we showed up here, there was so much stuff here.
A panel van, or whatever you call them here.
Someone's excited. They just got the lawnmower running. Since that first day, we have done so many projects outside. This is pretty exciting, guys. It feels like the first thing that we are upgrading on the property, and although it might not seem that crazy to anyone else, without a garage here, we don't have anywhere to store all of our tools, any of our camping gear or vehicle stuff. So right now, all of that is inside of the house.
Nice.
I'm so happy.
There's a big rock underneath. And there we go then, my first bit of paint spraying. And I think it's turned out pretty good.
When we first got here, it kind of felt like a race against time. Winter was coming and we had to get the roof replaced. We had the deck that was falling through. We had so much stuff we wanted to clear up outside. And really trying to figure out how to prioritize this place was one of the biggest challenges. So we ended up getting the roof done first. We are finally getting the roof replaced. This was one of the main concerns when we bought this house. And then we spent so much time clearing the property, seeing what vehicles ran, and deciding what we wanted to keep, what we wanted to sell, and what we just wanted to get rid of. Like a bloody dream.
Whoa. Yeah, it's got a full tank of fuel as well. No way! One of the jobs that I were really excited about were getting some gravel down. I think that might have been the first time Kevin actually come around and give us a hand. He graded it with his tractor, and then we got gravel dumped.
Yo, this is so freaking cool.
I also built this deck with Mary Hannah's dad.
After getting a few quotes ranging from $40,000 to $55,000, we decided to tackle it ourselves, with the help of my dad. He and Andy tore the entire thing down, replaced the joists, added a French drain, and completely rebuilt the structure from the ground up. We're considering extending the deck a little bit, definitely going to put a railing on it, and we have a few other projects we're dreaming up for the front yard, including completely leveling it here soon and maybe even putting a pool in the front yard. Cute boys, aw. It's actually pretty cool to walk back into the house now in comparison to how it was when we first came in on that very first day. We're gonna go in the house now and see what has been left behind inside. I'm pretty excited, a little bit nervous, especially if there's a cat inside, but we'll see.
Feels like, it doesn't actually feel like we're walking into our house, it feels like we're walking into somebody else's house. Hello?
Fires, oh, there's still a little bit of heat to it. I think the thing that's most overwhelming of a place like this is like, where do you start? There's so much to do outside, inside, all like the furniture, all the clothes, all of that. And it's like 40 years of someone else's stuff, so it feels a little bit weird going through it all. But I'm just gonna try and dive in as much as I can and tackle it one room at a time. For the first couple of weeks, we were actually living in a trailer in the front yard, so the main goal was to try and get into the house before winter hit. So we focused all of our attention on this side of the house. We cleared everything out, we put new floors down. I gotta admit, I am pretty excited right now because we are finally ripping up carpet downstairs. I've been waiting for this moment since we bought the place.
And although I've been putting the floors down and doing all that stuff, I can make a house, but I definitely can't make a home. Even when we go somewhere that's just like a hotel or whatever, Mary Hannah always makes it like way more homey. So
That's so nice.
so whatever she tells me to do, when she just points, put this here, that there, I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna trust her. And however it turns out is gonna be way better than if I was to do it.
And we do want to redo the fireplace at some point in here. We redid the living room at the same time that we redid this room, which is one of our guest rooms now. And this room was one of the worst rooms. There was so much clutter. There was mice living in here. It was just filled to the brim with stuff. All right, let the treasure hunting begin.
Skis?
I'm keeping those skis.
Some skis there too. Are they my
Freaking
size?
sweet. Looks like it.
I actually quite like that lamp.
There's two of them. There's a lamp here that I really like, and it matches that lamp over there.
Let's keep those. How to clean practically anything.
Let me see this. This is definitely going to come in handy, considering we have an entire 40 years of house to clean. Okay, so this is like ski stuff. It took us a few weeks, but we finally got it cleared out and replaced the floors. We still want to paint in here and convert the loft into a place for our nieces and nephews. So the downstairs bathroom, we gave it a bit of a facelift when we first moved in. I feel like it's finally time to tackle the bathroom. And then a couple of weeks ago, we did round 2 of the facelift. I painted the shower, repainted the bathroom, painted the floors actually. But the real plan for this room is to do a complete overhaul. We'll probably end up doing a walk-in shower here instead of the tub. New vanity. I'm actually thinking of a stretched out vanity that'll go all the way across here and really make this like an elevated guest room. We might even put a door here so whoever's staying in the downstairs bedroom has their own private bathroom down here. And this room is one of my favorites so far in the house. And this is bedroom.
An encyclopedia of jokes.
There's a lot to go at. The first thing we did in this room was rip up all of the carpets, replace that, paint it. Somewhere in there I did decide to take the mirror off the wall and discovered that that used to be a window, so I ended up patching that, and then I completely revamped the closet in here. And I don't think that there's much else that we'll end up doing in this room other than potentially removing the ceilings at some point. Not because I really want to, but just because we found so much mouse stuff in some of the other ceilings that now I'm nervous about all of the ceilings. I do think it's time for this fan to go though. And we did keep these lamps. These are one of my favorite things that we found in the house. And we also kept this bookshelf, which I'm not sure long-term if we'll end up keeping it, but it's been great so far. So continuing downstairs, the living room goes straight into the kitchen, which has been one of the larger projects we started to undertake. He left us some coffee. How's it going in the kitchen? It looks like you're making progress.
A lot of cleaning out to do now. These go out of date in November, so we're gonna have cheese with every meal.
If you bought a house that was as is with everything included, would you keep some of the food if it was in date, or are we disgusting?
The house has actually been made bigger 3 times. So it started as a 600 square foot cabin, then it got made bigger. So I believe this is actually the old outside wall. So although this is a big house at 3,700 square feet, the kitchen is like pretty tiny. So one of the big jobs for this house was taking the wall down that were here and extending the kitchen all the way out to here, which is pretty much going to be double the size. But to do that, we had to put up a supportive beam.
Andy? Oh, you got it. There we go. Well, we salvaged most of it, Andy.
There we go.
Okay. Should come this way.
There we go.
There you go. Now we got it coming in like a trained pig.
And that was way above my pay grade, but luckily for me, I've got the best neighbour in the world, Kevin, and he come around and he showed us how to do tenant and mortar joints.
You're gonna gradual tape and knock that right out of there. Okay, probably gotta bend that a little bit to get rid of.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
We're just so happy with it. Honestly, it's just one of those things where we keep sitting down at the table and looking up at it and we're like, that is so cool. And while we're in the kitchen, we got the same view that I've got right now, and we were just looking at the patio door, and this ginger little cat just turned up. And he might not technically be feral, but he was just living in the woods and under the deck near the house, so we named him Will Ferrell, and we've kept him, and we are absolutely buzzing with that decision.
Shortly after that, we adopted Benji, formerly named Romeo, a 110-pound Pyrenees mountain dog from the local animal shelter. And while it took a little bit of an introduction period, Will and Benji are now best friends. So the kitchen is actually one of our next big projects. The plan right now is to do an L-shaped kitchen. So there'll be a little side there, and then this wall will go all the way to here. And we're thinking a floor-to-ceiling pantry with drawers here. And then the stove is gonna move down a little bit. Fridge will probably stay there. And then a massive 8-foot island here overlooking probably a bigger table. Long-term plan is actually to do bifolding doors here. And so when you're in the kitchen, you're looking out into the yard and it's just completely unobstructed view. I'm really excited about that one. So the kitchen will bleed into the entertainment bar room, but there actually was a bar here in this house when we first got here.
So as you can see, when he said he was leaving everything, he's left everything. So we own all this now, so we either need to get rid of it, recycle it, rehome it, repurpose it, or maybe there might be something that we want to keep, I don't know. You can see mice live inside it, and there's mouse droppings everywhere. So hopefully we're not mice infested, or hopefully we can at least get rid of it.
I feel like I should have a mask on.
Oh, a bag of cat turds and cat litter.
Why would you put it in there?
And we got this room pretty much cleared out. And to celebrate, we are christening the bar tonight.
Now then, love, what can I get you?
Cheers! It was really cool. We did want to keep it, but because of the kitchen expansion, we just decided it was the best thing to do. But do not give up hope. We are hoping to keep the bar in some capacity. We're gonna try and move it here and then do an old school British pub style bar. So this actually came with the house as well. This was behind the original bar. It's a wine fridge, although we don't actually keep wine in it ever. With all of the recent projects lately, we've been trying to stay on top of our hydration, and that's where today's sponsor comes in, Element.
Element's an electrolyte drink mix that's gonna help you stay hydrated throughout the day.
And they just came out with a sparkling edition that we've been reaching for a lot lately.
Do you want a drink? These are like electrolyte drinks.
Thanks, Andy.
So you've got pineapple and black cherry.
Ooh, I am a fan of black cherry. Stay salty, yeah.
So it's got no sugar and no artificial ingredients.
It helps us prevent things like headaches, fatigue, and muscle cramps so we can keep on keeping on. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am so pooped. Right now, Element is offering our viewers a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular drink mix flavors with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element order. It's a great way to try all of the flavors or share with a friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/expeditionrove. That's drinklmnt.com/expeditionrove. The pool table's also staying. This was one of my favorite surprises of the house.
This is actually one of the coolest pieces of furniture that came with the house. It's actually one of like the first concepts of a fridge. Basically, I think these would be in shops and things like that, or bars, and you'd have your cold meats and drinks and all that, and then you'd get big chunks of ice and put that in the bottom, and there you go, you've got a fridge.
So if anybody has any information on this, I would love to hear about it. And a lot of you guys have actually asked what is in the safe and what was here whenever we got here. So the safe was completely empty, but it's obviously a really cool safe, so we've kept it. We don't really have anything cool inside of it to show you guys, but I just wanted to address it because people were asking, was there guns left? He took all his guns and all his jewelry and then left everything else. We are still on plywood in this room. Things do not always go to plan. So Andy and I were planning on leaving the carpet in this bar room for now because we just have enough projects going on. But the washer pipe came out the other day and completely flooded half of this room. And I'm pretty sure this is where the previous owner's litter boxes were for his cats. And so it absolutely reeks. The whole house smells. And we will do LVP that we bought for the other half of the house all the way through here. It's actually sitting down at the other end of the room. But until the kitchen layout is done, we didn't want to have to then redo the flooring later. So we've just been hanging out on plywood until then, and it's fine. And then down here, we're planning to do a little bit of a hallway to a half bath. And that way, anytime someone's at the house playing pool or hanging out at the bar, they can use this one rather than the full bathroom downstairs. To date, this though has been one of my favorite projects. Andy and his dad built me this beautiful laundry room, and I'm obsessed.
My plan is to turn this little area into a laundry room slash Benji's boy's bathroom. It'd be cool if I could get this done in a week and then surprise her when she gets back. Nice. Well, I've started taking the boards off and this isn't good. Notice all the holes? This is where mice have been at some point. Hundreds, if not maybe thousands in this house. So this has gone from bad to worse. I'm glad I took more plasterboard off to look for the mice, because when I've looked for the mice, I've noticed that it's all rotten in the corner. Oh wow. It's literally, just get my hand straight through there. My dad's come in to give me a help on the house, seeing as though there's about 1 million jobs to be getting on with.
Just got home. I'm gonna go see what they're up to in here. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's doing so well. This is way better, isn't it? He usually hates the bath, like absolutely terrified.
He's not smiling, but
He's not crying. And if you remember, this exact spot is where there was a huge cooler where we found that massive deer head from 1998 or something like that.
There's a big chest freezer.
A big what?
Chest freezer.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's so much food. I love this project just because Andy's dad and him built it. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's really cool to have so much support from friends and family, neighbors on this house build, and it's just been incredible to see it all come to life. I never want to sell this place. Someone actually asked if we plan on renting it out or selling it one day, and we'd actually love to keep this house in our family forever and ever, if we can. This is obviously our construction site corner, but eventually the plan is to move the pool table down here, have some type of like card table or something like that in the middle, huge area for entertaining down there, bar over here, and I'm hoping in a year's time we do this walk around and this space looks completely different. All right, now that we're back in the living room, we're gonna head upstairs. This is actually the biggest construction site of them all right now, but I am excited to show you guys where we're at and kind of what we're thinking as well. Originally, there was 3 doors when you walked up the stairs. So you had a door here, and a door here. So we ripped that down and we've turned this into a hallway up here that'll go to both of the bedrooms and then to the shared bathroom up here. Well, after 12 days of owning this property, we finally have a room that has absolutely nothing in it except for a few hangers. Today we are finally going to rip up the carpet. Oh my god, this is so exciting! We thought the upstairs would just need a coat of paint, but we got horrible news about our roof. That's the stuff we just put up in it.
Why is it wet? Is it damp?
Is it?
Yeah, this is wet.
Oh my gosh, that's bad. And ended up having to tear down all of the cedar ceilings. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. Spray foam it and re-drywall it. And I can just pop in. Oh! Wow, this looks so good. We actually made some progress in here this week, so next week's video will show you guys a little bit more about that. As you walk down this hall, this is gonna go into the main bedroom and kind of an entryway space.
So you're almost there, aren't you?
Everything is pretty much organized now. So like we've got bags, that's obviously a bit of trash. All the clothes up here. I'm envisioning this being an area to get ready. We'll probably have a little makeup spot. And from here it goes into the closet and then into the main bedroom. Oh my gosh. It's honestly gonna look like a different place.
Out of the window it goes. I just can't quite reach the trailer.
So originally in here, the bed was actually over here. We have built this wall out a little bit and are gonna put the bed on this side. And dream plan, I don't know if this will ever happen, is to change the windows up here. So we have windows that go floor to ceiling all the way along here. So when you're in bed, you're actually looking out into the yard all the way across, which would be really cool. I actually really don't know what to do with this space. They were using it as a storage closet or something like that, but thinking maybe a Benji boy bedroom? I don't know. So if you have any ideas, I'm all ears. We're actually even contemplating completely taking this section out, and then there would be raised ceilings when you walk in the front door. And then from the bedroom, you go into the closet in here. This was actually all attic space before.
Just found another room.
What? What do you mean?
Come this way.
Found another room.
So go outside and then turn right.
No way. What's in here?
Here, you need a torch.
Oh my god, it just keeps going.
There's so much stuff. How are we going to get rid of all this?
I honestly don't know. And we are converting it into the closets up here, so we should have so much more storage, which is really exciting. This will be Andy's section. I'm thinking floor to ceiling built-in cabinetry here for clothes. And this whole section is gonna be built-in wardrobe on this side. Obviously, I'm pretty short, so I can make it all the way down here, but this will be my closet. And then behind that wall is gonna be a storage area from here all the way down to there that you'll access through the guest bedroom closet. And then final room of the house is the upstairs bathroom. So the plan is to have a walk-in shower on this side, and then we will do a vanity here. And we're debating right now of either the toilet going here facing out or the toilet going there facing in. I'm not entirely sure on that one either.
And there is one thing with the bathroom that I'm not quite sure about yet. Well, there's quite a few things in life I'm not quite sure about. And one of those is the extractor fan. I don't want to run through the roof because I'm just worried of potential leaks and things like that. So my plan is to run, if this works, a duct out above the shower to like a main duct that will go along this back wall and then out of the side of the house. Now, is that something you can do, or am I just making random things up in my head? Let me know if you know about air conditioning and duct work and stuff. Well, that's the house tour done. I want to show you the best bit though, the dream shop. Not that I've got much to show you, but I can show you where it will be going, or where I think it's going to be going. I still don't know for the fact yet, because I don't know if you've seen in the videos yet, but there's a lot of huge boulders in this area. And obviously if we hit one of those, that could make a big difference to whether the shop can go there or not. And this is really cool, like thinking back to where we started, because, well, there was a huge tree here that Kevin cut down. It was like 110 foot. It went from here, and the end of it actually went across the road down there. Wow! That's like slow mo. And one of the really cool things that I loved about this property is all the ATVs and things that came with it. This Arctic cat has been I want to say unbeatable, but it did break down at one point. But it's working again now. So we've got that. We've got like the Yamaha Grizzly with two Honda 250s, a ride-on lawnmower.
Even these shelter logic.
Even these tent things were inside one of those, that Mitsubishi car. Look what I've just noticed in the back. Are you ready?
Yeah? What is that?
Canvas garages.
No way.
Brand new, unopened. Yeah, there's just so much stuff that has really come in handy. And one of the things that I really want to get going at some point is the Honda freewheeler. And this is something that I've been dreaming about forever. Anyone who's worked on their own cars, like laid on the gravel drive, or it's raining outside and snowing, I'm sure they've probably got the same dream as me of one day having a shop. And last week we finally took the first steps to get that going and cut all the trees back. There we go, it's going.
Yeah, just trust your gear. I think you're pretty good right there, Andy. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. What a nice control.
Yeah, that was beauty.
Yeah, that's the way to tip them over.
So now the land is clear, and I'm hoping this is where it's going to go, as long as we don't hit too many boulders.
On my dad's latest visit, he helped us clear the upper portion of the property and uncovered an awesome mountain view. Let's see. Oh my gosh. It doesn't even look like the same place. We'd love to build a little deck or a tiny house up here eventually.
And another one of those jobs that's on the list is deciding what to do with this box van. Do we keep it or do we fix it and sell it?
And we did keep this trailer as well. Eventually we're planning to refurbish that a little bit. We started to spray paint it at one point, but then ran out of paint. And then this beauty back here, we actually sold this, and then I had instant regret, and a couple of months later we found the guy on Facebook and bought it back from him. What do you guys think? Should we keep this truck or should we sell it?
At first we were just overwhelmed and we wanted to just get everything cleared out, and then not long after we cleared it out we were like, was that a mistake? Should we have just tucked it away?
Andy's about to come up the driveway with it. I'm so excited. Heck yes, I feel like we 100% made the right decision. That thing is so sweet. It is so cool.
Are you excited?
Yes, I want to look at it.
Hello, Benji boy.
I feel like it's so cool. The interior is just like absolutely wicked in it. So I don't actually know what the plans are in the long term, but I want to restore this and bring it back to life once we get our shop up and running. I know Andy has plenty of vehicle projects, so I think this baby might be mine. I also wanted to answer one of the most asked questions that we get, which is, why did the guy leave everything behind? So a lot of you have asked, one, why did the guy leave everything behind and sell the house? And two, what made us fall in love with this area and this property? So Andy and I were on the road for a really long time. We spent 1.5 years crossing Africa, and then we had friends that live up here, Courtney and Riley from Ambition Strikes, and they asked if we wanted to come visit up in North Idaho. So we came up here, fell in love with the area. It just has everything. It's green, it's lush, kind of like England. It's got a lake. I've always wanted to live near a lake. It's got really hot summers, it's got beautiful winters, and we just decided, okay, might as well look at property. So I was just browsing online, really didn't expect to find anything, and Andy was in Montana that week, and I saw this house pop up, and I just immediately fell in love with it. It had so much charm, so much character. It had these beautiful vaulted ceilings. It was on 4 acres, and it was relatively inexpensive compared to everything else in the area. So I found a realtor. I asked to go see it the next morning. We came at 9 o'clock the next morning, and the little old man was sitting on his recliner in there, and he's just so sweet. Him and I got to talking. He started sharing a little bit of his story, and before we knew it, we were about 2 minutes into the conversation, and he's in tears, and I'm in tears. And we just instantly hit it off. You know, I knew how much he loved this house. He built it from scratch with his bare hands. And him and his wife spent 40 years here together. So I don't want to share too much of his story, but he was getting older and a little less mobile. There's a piece of furniture in the house that I just fell in love with. And I said, oh my gosh, I love this piece. It reminds me a lot of furniture that my mom had growing up. And he looked at me with a gleam in his eye and said, well, would you want to buy the house with everything included? Which was not in the listing. And so, you know, gut reaction, I was like, I mean, I don't want everything. I just wanted this one piece of furniture. But I could tell he was getting older and really needed the help, and was just really overwhelmed by the property and everything that they had accumulated. So we placed an offer that day, and a couple of days later he ended up accepting, and we told him that we would take it with everything included. So he could just take the things that he wanted, whatever had the most value to him. We did not care. He could go through the whole entire house, and he decided to take a couple of personal belongings, jewelry, and his guns. But other than that, he left everything at the house, including the ATVs, the vehicles, all of that. So it was kind of this beautiful blessing in disguise where a lot of the stuff that we ended up getting, we ended up keeping or repurposing or being able to sell to then be able to afford some of the projects that we were working on. And he was able to kind of wipe his hands clean and leave and go join family over in another state. Andy and I are both so honored to be able to bring this house back to life, and we regularly send him photos and updates. I don't think he has any plans of coming back over here to North Idaho, but if he ever does, he's obviously more than welcome to come by and see it. You guys have also asked if he watches our videos. I don't think he watches our videos, but I do send him pictures pretty regularly just to give him updates. And he's been so excited to see everything that we're doing, which is really cool. We have so many projects that we want to do, and just want to thank you all for supporting this wild, crazy dream that we have, for rooting for us, cheering us on. It means more to us than you guys know, and I'm really excited to continue to share this story with you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
And please hit that subscribe button. It costs naught to you, but means a lot to me.